Everybody, I want to hear you. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, let's turn attention to Africa, where an RT source has confirmed that Ghana has rejected a $100 million bilateral health agreement with the US. Now, it is a setback to the Trump team's attempts to transition foreign aid into programs that make nations more self-reliant. RT correspondent Nulavuyu Kunge takes up the story from there.
It is a huge blow to Washington and its American First health strategy. But really, to understand why this is a trend and why this is a big deal, you have to look at how the help has changed. Because just 2 years ago, the U.S. was sending over $200 million a year to Ghana. But now the Trump administration has cut that, offering only half of that amount. But here is the problem. That money came with strings attached. Washington wanted Ghana to fight diseases like malaria, TB, and polio, but they also demanded a real-time feed of Ghana's national health data. Essentially, they were asking for the biological as well as medical data of every Ghanaian citizen in exchange for a fraction of the aid they used to give for free in Ghana. But Accra looked at that contract and decided that their people's privacy was not for sale. So this isn't just a budget cut, it is a total shift in how the U.S. operates on the African continent. And if you talk to officials and experts on the African continent, the feeling here is that the U.S. is trying to treat Africa as a testing ground or a data mine, but they are not offering a fair price for that. And this is exactly where the friction starts and where it really gets interesting, because Ghana isn't standing alone. We are seeing a trend across the continent. In Kenya, for example, the pushback is coming from the streets as well as the courts. But the strongest words so far have come from Zimbabwe. You would remember that they were offered a $367 million sum for their healthcare system. But when they asked if the United States would share its own medical data in return, the Americans said no. So Zimbabwe's message was quite blunt. They refused to be treated as a laboratory. But just listen to how the Information Ministry in Zimbabwe put it.
The health authorities requested that, can America also share its biological data and resource? The answer was no. So, surely, what's good for the gander must be good for the goose. What's good for the goose must also be good for the gander. But in our case, it seems like their data protection for their citizens was more important to them than our citizens. Well, our citizens are not guinea pigs. Africans are not guinea pigs. So we saw some racial element to that. That's why we said no.
And that phrase, Africans are not guinea pigs, is echoing across the African continent as we speak, because this isn't just a budget disagreement anymore. It is a fight for digital sovereignty. The US is trying to overhaul how it handles foreign aid, turning charity into some sort of a transaction. But African nations are starting to realize that their biological data and their citizens' DNA might be worth far more than the millions that Washington and the Trump administration is offering. And this raises a massive question for the West, as well as Donald Trump and its administration. If the US keeps losing these key partners, who fills the gap? Because as Washington constantly pulls out of the African continent or is being chased out, other global powers are waiting, and they are not coming in with these America First strings attached. So this isn't just a rejected deal, it is a declaration of independence from Ghana as well as many other African countries.
Past 6 or 4. I had a Premier Live on Today Ghana News TV. We are back again. This is a Thursday, and we are back into the studios with some interesting political conversations. So, Cecilia, will join me. I want you to join me. I want you to stay, and this is how we welcome you to our program today. So, just stay relaxed and make sure that you tap on the like, share, and also you comment. So that they can also get the opportunity to contribute their voices to wherever we are discussing today. Today we've got some interesting conversations that have been tabled for discussion. Now, one has got to do with internal issue, another one has got to do with something that is a bit more of an international situation. We'll be looking into all of that. But before then, let me take you straight into the Evening Tribune newspaper, one of the credible newspapers in Ghana I've ever come across. Everything is credible and authentic. That is what is on your screen. These are some of the issues that you making ways to the front page of the Evening Tribune newspaper. Ghana stands tall. Government rejects U.S. health deal to protect national data sovereignty. This one, I greatly I applaud the government for such an initiative. See, sometimes it's not all about money. We need to protect the rights of the citizens. This issue has got people talking, and this is one of the topics that today we'll be looking at aside of doing so. Make sure you fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be very interesting. Samson, on your right hand side, being say Adamus crashed. Government revoke mining lease over illegal galamsey. Shocker. Interesting conversations. Samson Adam want to say NDC fires up grassroots battle. Nationwide branch election set to shake party structures. Hey, this is the tone. I like the tone of the whole thing. Yes. So when instead of the technical PMO front page of the Evening Tribune newspaper on Pacho Kopebina is just 2 cities 50 pesos. Also abreast yourself with the current happenings in our political cycles. With that much I do know, and then they'll be joining me in the studio already. We can see that it's 47 minutes past the normal time that we start. Kwame Ajima, NDC Communications member, Freiburg, Germany, is seated in the studio. Opening Mama Akaba with a short greetings and to us.
Aminia, Medawase na Mede Asadama to Trubunsu, Utwidian Ponyakopo, say another no Mubuntina that's with him come. Tie off here, Sumaboni Bianca, and see what we are so sad now say the Asadamano. Now, if you have any perform, Mede and Chi more than Ebema Ura. Sabre we bring a couple yinama on my Ghana, Metro GDM. Say Umi Ghana free, and we hear any a which brimo. And see Medinchi more the Bema or Rajon Damani Mahama, but there will be a mede nchie mmɔde ma mesrɛ Nyankopɔn bambɔ kɛseɛ ne n'ahoɔden ne ne nyansa mmra so ne timi bu Ghana na Ghana ɛnyɛ kra bɛhwɛ na afei menchia NDC mpanyimfoɔ nyinaa na memfa m'ani nkyerɛ Moscow na menchia me ankasa me nua Wadru Agyeman baabi a obia wɔ Russia menchia me ankasa me nua Eric Kwabena Asante also of Freiburg, Germany. Also, NDC active member of Hansi Nyamisha Babia Ubia no Mechia Eric Kwabena Asante. Nafi me comment in Denmark na menchia akutu family. Bruce ose akutu, Samson ose akutu, Mary Bafo akutu, nafi memrefi. Owo me aha manchia wanese mama shui. Elizabeth Bodu as of Mammy Baby Obia Obakwami Agyeman Mechia. Amenchia Freiburg mpanyimfo Ura Amos Onunua Samuel Tetefiu Baby Obia Mechia. We did the Jonas Kwashi also of Freiburg organizer Baby Obia Mechia. Na menua Emmanuel Ano menchia no nafi menchia tiefo nyina wana waje bre se mo babiti enokrebre mechia tiefo nyina both NPP NDC mechio bibia se ebrem so se obia ntwemra no metie enokre titiro NPP4 omra metie enokre ahinta o man mu nafi omhu kwan fa so ebu o man enti menua akwanya ode ma me no mede manu besi sanse ebre no aye brenti kasa tenti wana ntoko nti yanku yani medase
sanso na Dr. Masud Abongo NPP Russia branch Dr. Enumre Emawaju any akwa baba no premier jumedis
Yo Mejoso Lawrence Mejoso pa Michio for NMC Russian branch na kachira Agyeman say ye greetings from abroad Oba onye tem na start program na just so greet say greeting from abroad ana
Agyeman listeners need na taxi omo said the intimi abomudi ni sanso program make sure someone share program is live via Twitch on the satellite Facebook YouTube LinkedIn and na search handle near Today Ghana News High FM 93.5 ewa Chimheman in the Eastern Region Kings Radio Accra Jamframa ewo Rara in the T Region Sekina Information Center totally Northern Ghana Deliman Community Information Center sanso na Pans TV ewa Flau. These are all the channels women channels on boy APN Jumedi no ekwechiman enumre nchia kese nkomo bia na afi yemfa Jumedi no ento ase ma me start opening Agyeman so na me yama ba Dr. Abongo so say the January
start on me so first
opening Agyeman and some Ghana for na we just say I said dum so aba anytime when NDC is in power we experience this crisis you see they are target NDC say mo na ekuba dum so na opening let's tackle this issue in a bit ma onon ko opening dum so we get to stay ma me ko opening Agyeman so doc meba so shall stop on so na Jimmy kakra doc Jimmy wano meba so mini Agyeman
me also me dase na wadru nchire
I say any time it's rather unfortunate say mo de mba mbe hihia dum so ya tag mo say mo na mbi dum so bae is dum so really back? What's the problem?
Okay,
is the government incompetent about dum so especially?
Me was say Mama Dr. Bongo when you greeting from abroad but greeting around abroad. It's Dr. Bongo oba na pento kwa me da was say you can do so obi a wondi Ghana na sa onye Ghana ni o kan dum so obebusa say what is dum so whereby there be or say general definition no power shortage and I said power outrage etimi first can it cut off unexpected yes na can edum sa NDC enye yede ha obi a ha productivity say enema bebre na kai hu say so one friends obonsam didi a so ma watre tenten enye NDC epe say yebeba abamu na kania edum amanfo nyina bedi adanse say even just recently people were begging say kayenum kania so that I say because that's the only thing na NPP train because ever since almost 1.5 year you better na abamu NPP nya bibi ankan say iwe de beka bibi de akere friends NDC it is a bibi ko teach masi see kukuru say obi nka say pudio ntu ti pudio share no bi akenatre na nya de epe no na minim sa ban no de ne papa egu akwan mu a whoever behind the scene or yes ade na or sabotage abaning na yebehwe na yetu ase.
You mean somebody sabotaging the government with this?
Oh, na Dr. Bongo na dia na ni sia bre say fashion ono so na ometoto bombo na kire say owo bibi because like in eduma enu NPP side in enu NDC side eduma o manim ngina enti asem sia edi ye show yi no krebre me NDC me ma me can say can na edum no good no enye good no kre e tro because because of this show. So we are here to make our people know what's behind the scene. Enti me kind of say no ya hwe ekwan ya kania efa so dundum edi na esi enti e ma kania efa so dundum na why na so dey tag NDC say NDC baban mu ana kania dundum ekoso say one yesi de opam no onya ya obede waje wa home ohwe amamu a ekoso ene ne ma papa o mampanyi di agu akon mu a odi bu o man na afe ne fa na sa afe de kwa afe ne fa ni na obi antim nye bibie nka ekwan bi obefa so obema wonim egu ase bia na obeye wonim say ebe Africa credit na NPP free abenwem with the labor law nti o ma ye form adwom no wontimi nka say ya ban benti ye yi om ngene free hono because Bible say time abon sam ne Nyankopon nya problem no oto no one na abofo nyina eba asase so no say asase so for de munue enti NDC ye ni NPP na edili enti due ni de because so adue enti ye besre Ghana force enye bo apayo ye de enema pa egu akwam aban oti Ghana fo sum aban oti Ghana fo dadwene onim Ghana fo haw se obi be sora no pa se okọ na adwuma no be ko ne adum kanea no enye de aban NDC ye pe no na enipa ye ne no epre amamu no se nipa be fa kwa nnuasa bebre so hu se NPP edi enipa bebre ehye ECG edwumaku no ansana omoko opposition.
How does that affect them so? Nipa omudi say
Yesusu say with the aid of politics NPP and some way. My definition of first elephant. Research has shown say elephant has the strongest IQ. It has the strongest or more. They have the strongest IQ, they have the strongest memory. On the flip side, elephants don't forgive. Wildlife for now. So if you also elephant a year, I fancy na wherever be se be Africa no better after or be you be kuma abofona or mekachero. Elephant never forgive. So when you are dealing with this kind of animal, a queen of a faswa or be chwa form na wamemunu aye bisibasano obeye. We are dealing with NPP. We are dealing with the opposition party a car nonko na ki afropo. But a shrank and ponse de nyamia shirano no shirano. Senka do so your friends say ye part of DNA ye buy from January 2024 25 as at now. Enka enya fe ni eba be experience dum so. Bibi na esi na yente na ye aban no ate ehwehwemu abadwakuo energy ministry no so de ne esi form ye de nema guakwam enema bia e masa dum so yi ekoso no yeguso a yetu ho anamo enti enya boapayo se ye beba bam na hairdresser ni fitani where the ni be sori anopa so okọ adwuma na obekọ na kania eni ho anaso bi be pon adwuma ba fie na kania eni ho na ehyiwe ne ntontom no enye de epe no but yen kai say otwe ase no one ye netie
yen kai say before dum so nechi
media to be alleged misusu say omo na betimi
media o kan no
me analysis na misusu say because omo need the only because ekwan of Dr. Bongo ni abre opese financial ase no e kire say bibi ho because when our time for the also more attracting edi enti na dum so bank yingina no areho o si yingina because eduma wo Dr. Bongo no affect wo dwuma Nti di ntina woni agi a obegino say information for what? Affective productivity e mo mind ko form. E say ni ma be.
Me na mete ha. E na una titi anu, me ti me bisa doc, adentina so na den na mo ya fa unte say me no sha say na at least Ghana.
Me na e no na make sure say e kwa Dr. Bongo kan sisi e no. E no na trigger me. E say some my friends say me mode of speech am dey ba because wa kire me say no omo sha say because ansa na ni friend be to bo no na na si bo so. It is NPP now on any pressure or opposition or quite within a friend less than 1 year or more amanukunum immortity is only about 3 divisions more franto or more friends apine or more a whole lot of things AP the base near the other. Sorry, I say ain't unya bibi and come for NDC home. And the only thing I bema NPP enya no eye dum so. And I yes Ghana force enye bo apayo. Abayi nye na dwen say oba abetena kunwa so abesei obi adwuma anase odi dum so eba but yen kai say ye tamfo ye ne na nete na me fa konya we so aka kire Ghana ni bia say uni mo bia ne nsa hye dum so na se a ye no mu na tifi ni mo mu e po mo bogina ye hu mesrew entin na fabra bontin be kan
den na so bi nim dum so echi ana sebe nipa no ojina machines na echi ana. Are there no real issues are able to me attack on? I appreciate it for people to understand. Say this is the issues on the ground than pointing, accusing.
Nine. This is political show, and this is an Kremre. To be precise, here lies the case that you better say you cannot create actually nipa. Issue the debate mean technical issues be brady ashe. But who caused it? I didn't know this technical.
It could be a technical issue.
Yeah, it could be technical issue. What I say because ECG are dealing with machines and other equipment.
So why are you saying that there's somebody behind it? Who should say because of the NPP in
100%. I can confidently say allegedly say more bet me I say aye because and so more. That's the only political message on bet me akasetia NDC. Because since almost 1 year there's nothing. NPP beat me based on that. So ever since NDC take over, no, no, so basically, that's the only message they could punch on it. They could have hammered it to sell their political message to Ghanaians. Then I'll use this opportunity to tell Ghanaians, say, you know, it's a winning movie, and then Sasha Sia, and Tena, Namquaya da, no, it's a binum. Fanabra bontin, abayan wotia dwamisu, na so abi otie obia, enti whoever you know so we dey ini pass mercy. Meti se na no mo posi ena abam fabra bontin na ban no onya osa akwa. Ni to asem. Doing that no, aban ne de enima papa akran fidie e de enima hodo bebre egu akom si bi si dum so na no na it's of the past because say a motive say you do so better again this year almost 1 year consistently Ghanaians obi be around say non-stop light at 2 ABCD from January to December year num light sorry I say enti misusu say bibi ena hyase na enye bibi sa akwa say ye ne anka say yenuanom ena hyase omo yesa enti Dr. Bongo be den kre ma say dum so na mo hyase na mo yesa no mo anya ya o Dr. Bongo be say waduma
Mate
ebe say waduma ebe say Ghana fo na so waduma enti be say wa ka kire onko fo say sabri kotodi gu fom ensa dansa yem obi biara wonim ne say ne nsa hyase no Dr. Bongo wo de wan ka say waduma nti for the sake of Ghanaians onjai na mo pe different message emra na yenyanto aba election time nyanu ye na mo kura munya ma aban mu enti ma mo mpre mo ho say bedum kania na whoever won sa hyase biara no wo bi tai se be chew no woni aban enyasem enti ye de kotodwe ene akoto adesredi di bibri ema Ghana for say enya aban ne bo apayo se obese obi adwuma enye bo apayo se ye ba bedum kania ma ho kire de aba na bibi na asie but yente na ye de nema pa agu akwan mu a ye behwe na ya sia no na Ghana aye kra behwe na Ghana afa no tuma pekra enti minu ana de tie no to Dr. Bongo mesro ka kire NPP for say mesro whoever way behind ene mo muja o mo chiri do mo share energy ministry ho no ngina mo kan chiri mo no mo se ma dwene mo asesa Ghana na mo se no so are ase binu so ba be kan sem bibiri bet ko se muja mo nkofo ho enti energy ministry no me fa advice we say so dia mo se e pa che on fa na nancy for na whoever behind the scene NPP ja who chiri o mo yes ano o be hwe say obi yi o mu ngina de every one more than na be si form because this ministry is ngina ye adwuma enti mesres energy ministry no fa na nancy form on go all the sectors from regional to regional,
I don't know what
he's
talking about.
or making sure
And that guy too is another
bush. Oh yes,
in Ghana here.
But
But the producer is German.
Doc, yes, Doc. Kwame say, who politicize who sabotage, when jump for na mudundum light. This is what Kwame is saying, Doc.
Lawrence, message here etie for baby omutie baby omuhwe. Mechi omu yina. Na Lawrence se si no dum so aba. Wo bi se ndebe na kosi dum so no. Wo bi se one omu se eja to akosombo.
Until maybe start to say, can he take some of the real issues for people to appreciate and understand what is going on? But also muna muja nkrofu we chise mundumu.
There be say kwa na dum so ni ho. Jo mama one na dum so e wo ho. Ene ba e be ye no dum siesie ene ye no so sa. Ye kono ene di ma omu so sa. But omu ba no omu refi omu ho. Ye ka dum so no basically enye technical fault ene di dum so never. A purely managerial issue. So who nim kwan abafa so manage ya energy sector no ene na di aha we nyina eba. Sebi tama na e wo power no o say ai John Mahama na esiesie ye on na ma dum so no ko ye ene onwa John Mahama na ba power ada no ntimi siesie ada no no ko ene ye ba no ye timi siesie ema no enwo light. That means NPP ewa jumpa NPP ewo nie obetimi aye ama light na asisu saa NDC omuni saa de no owe bi so omo a omo se wo python bi eco transform mu ama light ni nye den so 24 hour obesa bi se no omo se eja I see
come closer now. Yesterday who
eja na see wo so man emba 24 hour no enti usha
no mu
enti usha ni mani na mo kanu enya nukre na NDC for policy omu policy ni say omu ya campaign no so omu di 24 hour economy here den eba ejuma baako omu fa nipa 3 3 shift right and no omu di amaye no omu so light ni kakra no ma dum ni 3 times and every day bia omu dum light ni 3 times and 1 3 na omu di amaye sisi no and this of 24 hour economy no sisi and NDC say omu ma 24 hour dum so eto kai na mo fie ma ba Ghana na mo fie ana so me ba be join no program no me twa no mama me dum so edina me ni option bia say mbetina ka mu na me ni why program because etiefo no omu dam akoma so ena me ni mama mo abochire na omu nim na e koso no sesi e Ghana na ewo mu no NDC for say
okay. So I think, Doc, but I just want us to talk as Ghanaians. Quite bad, so now if I bet me CC, and I bet me tackle issue with this doom so because it's quite worrisome. Okay, Doc, continue. So, baby, I will share with Biano. This is still a criminal live on Today Ghana News TV. We are talking about doom so if it's really back. And I just want us to, think about these issues or talk about these issues as Ghanaians, ways that we think, because we don't talk about the problems without talking about the solutions. I just wanted you to bring your suggestions, comments, thoughts on ways you think the doing so issues can be resolved, aside the government doing it bit. and he also work when you're joining Kwame. You said dog we in but the little dog was trying to say no if you have any rebuttal before we move to the next topic.
Yeah, me that was it. Okay, and someone Dr. Bungu bekan ya a mekan ya because from full 1 year NPP no position mo ntimi nya hwe anka fa ban we say hono or pe means bi obefa obenya message because full 1 year fan NPP nya message just to tackle the doomso against NDC. So basically mimi huni say yes someone behind the scene almost sabotage say ECG no ye ho man na say ECG ne jato mu akoso mu ema ahye what I say enye ade etwaso mu enti media mesusu say your technical aspect of honum but those behind the scene no me pese energy ministry no on fan nancy form because enimguase ba e kan yengina e kan because yena ye be cheche nsi mama Ghana for atiase enti se ministry no tena ho no ye nhwe han a e de ohaw eni abenedi e be bre o man Ghana titiru ye communicators na ye kasama ban no enti media mesusu say bibi hyase enye sa akwa say o hwe ensema Dr. Bongo kan a baseless say would now TP since I know you showing that they be free came. You know you show you almost 5 years in they be free came and tinye and the doom so be more about case free came. So I say I actually be a friend said Dr. Bongo o case free. We be chere for mo show we see it said Dr. Bongo and case free feeder. Even election day no kra na ye to about 2024 o case free came. Ye ni issue. So I say it is any of case no no fina yedum light no abetana kema it doesn't make sense or chatro enti mesre say bibi wo hon ma mpanyufo yija wo mo ewachiri MPP fo ja wo mo ministry hon no dodo na ansa hyase na mnim say enchenche wona afi enkodu next week no bohu wo mo hyase ngina perpetrators and they will be brought to the board and then face the justice according to the Ghana constitution enti mesre say whoever unim say obinsa hyase or yes ade no mesre mommy entena mommy emra bonte ne mekasa na onso onini
Kwame
menua
mentia say why do you always point fingers?
Yes,
Why and why are you pointing fingers to sebi first of all me understand say that of planting one the question I was even asking myself say this Russia US Israel war oil crash on betimi akwa kakra since we use gas near the power has the machine been maintained up till now you betimi use has it gone under any maintenance?
Media, Mamenka, you bet me, ye perceive can't be defended, a bit me, I can say be say, oh, because of what you call Iran, Israel war, Nitiama, and Toka 70 identity, or your one aqua are training at the bit me, I can bet here lies the case. We need to make cancer as we because bit me, I can say, same we seeing in a idea, Ghana for more bet and no crebe, because I no crebe. Here lies the case, he said. O catch Ghana for Venezuela for a friend say conto kwama friend say ama oye assault inti ye dum so no akoso no enya de etwaso mu inti media mesere ne say MPP for kono omu jai enkofo wum na say transformer na say machines ija betimi atum sa ahye sa de entwaso mu ebetimi esi normal but ensi kwa. Because for the first time, after an NPP, any message, it me to my own opinion, Misusu say, Ubin Sasha here. Misusu say Bibi Oho. Because friends, my friends, Dr. Bongo Bekanya, or person say, within 1 year, after a friend say, Munija light my any best, any better than 1 year, young doom light that. And after na ye be doom light, say, ye pesi sees your man on ye best say, friends, Ghana economy and answer say. So I say, I made them piece light in 7. We deal with machines, equipment, and other substances. And you bet him the access animal. But when you say you're Ghanaians, and Quebec so and Quebec, hope to try to beat him there share any other means. But me, the Missus say, Ubin Sasha say, be
Fine. We're making mention of there could be technical challenges. Which is true. But do you think at this moment in this statement will make it say Ubi is what Ghanaians want to hear?
As my can say, Missus say, because Osha me friends, my opponent, and some all kinds of say no. They are deliberately because they need message for their opposition, because ever since they've been opposition, there has never been a single message for them. So therefore, the F5, they need a message. Only message they can have is about doom so. It is a doom so. Ewo honma and NPP benya message there akasa. Without doom so, what are the message for NPP? So basically, we know say Bibi Eshasiye, because a bit me doom light, a bit me sunny meaning a normal thing, a bit me see machine bit me say is see, but any pants bit me aye. Any pants bit me aye. Obi ponim guasia because Osha memu e koso full 1 year non-stop back to back ministry be a yen ejuma foreign affairs minister yen ejuma communication yen ejuma be yen ejuma. It's therefore yen fantastic ministry of friends the ministry of energy na fi yen hwe eho and I'm waiting the message. It's idiot to say someone behind the scene.
More encounter will be that during your tenure in power, not this recent one, but the previous one. Are you blaming?
Yes.
And there were real issues. Why didn't you point fingers? Why now?
Wait, compare and contrast. They didn't know more cancer. Say NDC bar any doom light. Say NDC bar and NPP opposition. Before when NDC comes to power, NDC must be in opposition. That's the two political party in Ghana. So they did that to sell their campaign message. Because only try and they cry no social media. Yes, and no some baby to turn be just to sabotage the government. But you are in the line of do so for more than years. You are my papa already did him a year. And here you have found they could one bewafa. The Esreni say Ghana Funya Botoyam near the name pay go near CC or minor. But yes, animal we saying in a yes, animal, yen tenase because you do like in the can't say we will say ye more minor. Your 2016 records or home. Or share wouldn't do so costing an near KJT project. Do so costing an near the name of pay go. And ye no matter the couldn't be buffer upon so. NDC, we are here to serve and serve better. We are here to serve Ghanaians. And then the penono. Say you be dum kania na will be quite dwuma no nya light and fanya ne niema na say obe pon dwuma na no light. No, that is totally unaccepted. And the media misusu say there could be technical challenges. There also could be human error.
Yes.
There could be also deliberate human attempt just to sabotage the government. Three things involved.
In a sense that when you came into power at first, the government, the ruling government, fuel Sonia the idea Ghana for her. In fact, in most of your communication, we're told, say, when you go to the pump and say, now they don't ask you of your party colors.
Yes.
So why would somebody intentionally go off light for people to suffer? We are sure, say, we do lighter, and that light in Duma. All the people you are pointing hands at, no, families, use light, businesses, suffer. Obi and say, why would somebody deliberately do this?
Lawrence, a party NPP any cancer assembly. NPP in Fahon with the opposition say Odum light keke. Emma Wodibo Guaseno. On found so no better light in Umbi, or better sum mubi ababeka. Say you doom light. Me one a year. We know we are people we are talking about. That is NPP for you. And your man promising Yankopon friends a cathedral no mutu aburamano. Enti me anka say deliberately say or no you doom light or bed binti therefore omuntimenye. They can 100% do it. Ombetime ayama na abroso because they can do anything. Enti say only NPP didia also more 3 years thing because say Yankopon komutime hye Yankopon boko fa bo free Israel they buy see BC as already am Yankopon where say no more opposition. Yankopon de akunwa ma ombetena so no motu abura ma Yankopon Yankopon ma da na say ye da Ghana for doom light mo makoda mu de yade ye NPP for the ketu akra it is say and nothing else any kwanse the friends you susu say the show mu dia then there's something wrong somewhere. There's a big error over there. To me, I suspect, I think, say there's something behind and someone behind the scene. And don't forget, say, all the sectors across Ghana under the leadership of NPP. If you pay for missing kola, omu friends your NPP across all the board, all the sectors. It is also best sabotage wa. Eya de kitu ebi. Abro who say opposition e honum ya no mo amamunu friends omo party so emu atete no de. Ade ubetim de aye. Because it didn't in 2016. And yes, 2016. Yeah, friends NDC better so na kuna friends Dumson bio. With that advert after court ruling no echi from 2012 coming and a Dumso chassis. Because me say court ruling and court England ni light edit. After the court ruling and a Dumso chassis. After 1 year, this pepe calculate the same thing. Any better now so 1 year, almost 5 or 6 months in it, and I say aba. Sorry, I say. Enti the way we got on down so be we cry any the chini. Enti yes sense we say across 2016. Let's say say NDC bar na dum so aba. NDC bar na MPP wo opposition. Or opposition no, the one so betim their campaign and it will be dum light. Because we nim shey betim their with the only the campaign message. Just to cover the galamsey issues, just to cover other their rotna or moye. Now, therefore, only message you work and the BN say do so. It's do so no then buy. Other than January who do so, other than December who do so, other than within the August who do so. Sorry, I say, actually say bibi ho. Obi na shaso. Obi sa shase and oh yes I no. Sorry, I say the message say, oh yes I we see na. Unya hwe. Ube demu bi. Ubabedembi who say will be a juma just to create or tarnish the image of the president or the government. That is very uncalled for. That is very bad. It's mesre say when you say Japadi na oshiro kra fasubi any so. It's mesre whoever behind the scene. Yeah, you susu se wona we yes ade no mesre jim ne pe bibi fufro na campaign message de ebu obetimi nya bi enema bi breed ya campaign enye in the name of doom so. Now udum light na ebia na wo baby da hospital ebia na unu da hospital ebia wankasa no na wo pie free wo dem na do na akwakobo akonwa bi so I say enti mu mi ni abron say ye man no o man ye ni nkase wo friend say ye wo akosumu e so prayer kan ye made bi man foforo e kesi de enti ye say ya solid 24 hours ye nya light ehefa e you be inside na chase a je bibi na ekoso a e prayer airtime nya de house ye so enti minua maybe susu say bibi pa ewo ho yemfa technical issue ye betimi afa all the issues in penifo ba be kasa but mommy ehwe mommy dipu enko down ye bi obi ensi kwa etu fi say within a friend say 8 years no MPP for manja titi a friend say penifo ho o manja bi ho emu hwane a friend say yamana kotena fi emu hwane tiki ye bi ngura na ebu o man no enti obey kwan bia so we say uti Dr. Bongo issue na was say and say NDC ba na dum so aba enti umu ne num friends say like yes enti therefore umu dum no ne enfo mumra ce n'est pas emaso ye de nemi egu akwam na whoever behind the scene no so ye be say ye be yin pia ponte so I say enye de ye pe no say akra be twata de akusku yes no light we be charge the first no light so I say enti yente na ye o ma pani dim o de ne egu esi form energy ministry so de ne esi form and whoever behind the scene either you are going to be fired or you are going to be transferred from wherever you find yourself. Then near say light in the business. So now light in the business. It's not maganing in NDC light, in ND NPP light. Send now can friends Lawrence. Yet if you were so no, Okofu Pompa, Yenji party card, Yenji party card is near the top. But now you do light. Any filling station have to use fuel to power their plants. Therefore, it's going to also increase the price, of which the whole year, a song for so, and then and if you are a perform, because the light in the horma increase BBA, or generator, we have fuel. The filling station need plants to power their machines so that they can sell the fuel to Ghanaians. It is a light in the horma. No, no, fuel be a good plant. It also in cost, it also incur another cost. And see, Messer said, Mumi enjoy. Na emboy. Emboy. We and a crab because we're in a crab. Meda was a familiar. Medas.
Pacho, Doom songs and Semna, I've seen some of your messages on the platform. Let me go for a short break. We'll move on to the next topic, but keep the messages coming and then make it Brenama Kanina because this is an interesting conversation. Short commercial break, I'll be right back.
Welcome to Beyond Makeup, where beauty and confidence are taken to a whole new level. Here, we pamper and take care of you like royalty. Enjoy our gentle waxing, refreshing facials, and soothing massages that melt away stress and leave your skin glowing. We also offer professional makeup services, manicures, pedicures, durable nail extensions, and perfectly sculpted ombre brows. We give you the most perfect soft lashes that highlight your natural beauty. At Beyond Makeup, every visit is more than just a service. It's an experience of care, elegance, and transformation. Locate us at Chado Last Stop or call us on 0559 933 505 or 0506 474 911. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Beyond Makeup, your journey to wellness starts here.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Enka osro hine. Ka apostle Stephen Amuakuhu okwantrofo penyi ene kofa baye edema Inner World of God Ministry International ewa biblical truth. Miminda ediye nimi ene miminda bia. Abra abo enumre nonso Ghana time. Yeyini life ewa Today Ghana News TV. Biblical truths. Power, power, power.
$27 past the hour 7. Today Ghana News TV. This is Nokremre, hosted by your humble servant Lawrence Akini Ebwa, and we are still having this issue, sir. And we in my head discussing. So maybe I will be make I also join here. Now we just dealt with the issue of doing so, but still no. Me a lot of your messages. I'll get time to read all of them. Nemo. My phone call the next topic on my table. And che biano na US University or one. Amodi abasubodu bi ebre mampeni na afi mukasha say hey na LGBT no so say na mampeni say munja. Stop. Say we nkwanti na mobade na LGBT no nyintu. Nankofo say say wonyimtu na fire certificate my na doctor honorary we na dey amount dey ade so ne mufa. And it was laudable. That was a step in the right direction. When US have a beam, some bebua Ghana a health deal near the idea, the bebuamu sikasi any muma data. And I'm paying for that be for data anymore. Because data the mawa. No, it's something personal. You protect your citizens. Then any data maw. No, it's not possible. And to make us say Ghana has rejected the health deal like US said by it is a bold step. A bold step. People are talking. In fact, when you go on social media and some other news portal, it is very loud there. Now I say, some decided say, somebody boy and everything about security, about data, it's not safe at all. So they are rejecting totally. Now the Ibsan say, is this a mess? Is it a mistake? Is it wrong to reject a deal like this? To reject an offer like this? Or is it an opportunity? Did we save our people? Have we thought about our people by rejecting this deal? Maybe I will be waiting to do again. We are still here in the studio. But before then, before I even talk to Pame on this issue, let me give you a brief background of the whole issue. As the talks between the Ghana and the US over bilateral health care deal have stalled after Accra voiced concern regarding sensitive data sharing. Several African countries have pushed back on the deal, while some have signed. As part of the Trump administration's America First strategy, which has shifted focus on bilateral deal rather than multilateral deal aid, the new U.S. model aimed to transition funding responsibility for health commodities and service to Ghana. This means Accra would have to increase its own investment in health systems. Previously, this was largely supported by the U.S. contracted NGO. However, Trump's dismantling the U.S. aid in 2025, there is far less development funding available. Now I say, I say, US aid now 2025 agenda. It was something to do now, so to lure you to later come back and say, then this is the offer we are trying to give you. So give us your data. This is what I'm thinking. I said, now they are back again with another deal, which Ghana and some other countries are rejected. They've turned it down. Some too have signed though, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. And I'm asking, is Ghana messed up by rejecting the deal, or is an opportunity to protect the rights and the safety of its citizens? I'm Kwame Ajimaho na mention on this. Kwame.
We are mere different between the leadership. Say a year nanka or mampenyi dada ye King Ayatollah, a former president, and that's what could be enka you better different news, you better different story altogether. You better nyamiase. We are mere who clear differentiation between NPP and NDC. That is what I was talking about. Say, and my papa abane ye no dear NPP but they can only see doom so. Say, maybe Mosca ne share with data. O mamuti a friend say on call for more sem fabra na bejisika. Is it Ghana for say? And young one saw my penny call UN can the slave trade, the abolition of street trade, and one say we are beyond that. It's high time Africa need to rise up. It's high time Africa need to sit up. Ya trans ya che, ya dache, ya the nema go to pray ache. Say the man comes obon someone child de kwa. Enti which how commitment of my penny I yes obebo or my Ghana and home now or my no afan to my pa efra because Oshe at the rate the Western and America, Aburi Africa, since time immemorial, HS said, we are getting leaders from Africa who is ready. Nanyangwa said, Ghana is the first country to won independence across Africa. It is Ghana too sana mosia ebeboa ama African countries na can in so ediachi. I had say Uganda, ni Kenya, ni other African countries no. Almost ayade mama Ghana thumbs up say yade say yetimi yaman penye yetimi gina a taking bold decision because it's easy say ubehu sika no aka say there before sika ko. Eche how commitment you have for the country. Eche how commitment you have for your citizens. So therefore, our president needs to be applauded because he has taken a bold decision. Almighty America. So could you not make any mempe for Usika? Who are you? But it takes a good and bold decision leader who can do this. And easy say, oh man, penny bit me at tenacity say no. It will go trade the tree. Me bomb man for who buy. Yeni Maria Atana. Yes, and to a pencil. Make we much say if you can friends before second Ghana independence no and tontum na boa ma Maria abrof no muntimi and a mum na aduane koye and Ghana it me fire to my prefer.
We research with the more we are so much shame.
COVID-19 by within a twinkle of an eye yet to erase baby. America for who say ye ni Maria Atana since time immemorial. Afe edi no mo hu say afe de ye mba beboy ye pomudin na ye mfa ye data e mamo for what reason America am ready some do mo de be man ya na mo say there be omo de well protected na Ghana for na ejimi e na efe de mbra na ehia omanpanye na ni edene na odwene not say ne mam for ase no hunu say we ebe hia ma me mamfo we ehia enti me de aseda Ghana fo nyina mejina Ghana fo nem ne de aseda ama mampanyi ne asere yakopon so o mara kokudru because enye is so kwa in America mampanyi ni maka say we are rejecting this offer and yet possible because
Openi minchawano na unim said the dog ne ahoma na eba ni jitwa kono. Mamenje ono so ne issue ne thought on this. I'll come back to you. Mamenje ne the answer with an dog.
Yeah.
Dog. For any day na ye kama dog.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
enche bia na ye mampeni ko pie mu UN eko kika nsem HM say slave trade in there mafia pa na it's high time you guys come back and it's a reparation way no mumbra back na abrofo no omu vote ya na is 2-3 bi na omu de omu nya ready some message. Second one, we had people coming to honor our president. Now later they were asking him about his stance on the anti-LGBT, the gays, and our president Kachin said that. And I'm Santi Emma only way no the bread no revoke here if you know so and shake here. Now after say 2025, Trump cancel US aid and no deba Africa. Ghana a beneficiary. They are coming back again with a deal, but the deal is for us to present our health data. As you see, and it me Ejinaka said that we won't give because you Americans have decided not to give us your own. Look, we've turned down the offer. Is it the right step? Is this a wrong move?
Lawrence me that say. Say Abai can say there be I think is the right thing because data. So the mimi data. Sevi also will be same. And so now what the me data and some information na amobi. And one inform one be say, but me jidi say ko be say krana. Kagana for baka say the information here there. Enko mo biya. And I think abandoning yeah, I had the right thing because or share about share cinema yeah NPP opposition kebo boso mbapa no hunu ehu a ka woso akaban yes ade ne kania the mighty minority enu so influence aban ma aban den can say debi because on him say MP no so ene MP no so echina it's all good so opposition are strong opposition are very vocal so opposition are all seek accountability say NPP don't on per se obey sa adie no so obe kaya under John Mahama 1 okoye sign documents bi so obe kaya na ye military bibi sa se o ma be se camp bi wa NPP ehun ye ebo omo so aba so pa ba so aba ehwe omo so sa adie no minim say ye machine show ye bibi o ka se o ma be set military camp wa ha
Military base.
military base John Mahama ko sign contract ni vie kura o oye that time no opposition e boss sa e kasa sa ma o mo contract sa base no anyamba so eti na lesson e ma NDC aban no so yes na NPP under the leadership of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebe penny ebe for sa ade ti amoma ye den anye sa ade no it's a good thing sa ade no but be so ebe den na Ghana your population here 34 million our population over 300 million it go here data dia also for America for data a country a multi nationalities America Ghanaians I wo kra naturalize doso se me ebe bro community bi wo Ghana ha Ghanaians nko a ti America wo America munye ni packet ni ma ni data no but one sha ebetimi I get closer to 1 million and I say ebe bro Ghanaians a ti na America awo first generation second generation be doso even though say Ghanaians doso a open African Americans doso ocean Nigeria Ghana Kenya America the same blood the same DNA and sana the slave trader Americans more Africa aqua America omakoye slaves awo se see down Americans so DNA to say Ghanaians DNA because if you mutimi trace root with their gene trace root ehun se and this okay data so the way you can use the same Americans I don't know here so by health BB and this is in the right direction so buying no and found many are buying there yeah juniper
I think you've given us your candid opinion on the subject. Now, before you join, now who can be on the doom sorting before your line went off? I said, "What for? No, see, Papa." Because of your time, I would want you to give your give a final touch to that conversation.
Doom so yes, Namika doom so no. Now me see a doom so no. Omu how to manage it. Who say doom so no? Enye technical your PR issue. Now doom so can say technical issue then catch obi so nkotena fie. Then or shuffle obi wa Ashanti region. That means management. Now can you hear reshuffle? Say very reshuffle. Now can doom so stop here. One uncle say, "Oh, say minister." Now 2028, the person so with doom so Ghanaians so also reshuffle NDC. Now can say NDC minister no. Jinapo who say a doom so managerial position now. Not me. A year be so continent chain. Also no minister na kasa continent chain. And I was a Ghanaian so am I in this continent solve it. The see I'm no okay. The see I no Nima din. I am me ya ben coin me and cutting coin. You know me didn't kakra. We can never manage.
One hour ben coin.
Mine am ya ben coin. And I'm a tongue catcher and I'm a cheat, no my yet montos, no me de me fish a goom, no my have when we say fijumu. Eja, me cover, no didi. Banquin, a market card, ya say fijumu. Says here, and the doom son, Nina say, my boca. Salmon fish a mat must me toy, me do gooma, or mamma me doom for 24 hours. Nina say fermented, cutting coin, I say, a ben coin, I say. It's a say, me nimia me yamo. Me mamma so my pure water, and yakakre NDD. Abroa hotini baby. Say what shot as a free madum light. You show Nina. I warm. It's one again you know. Or moon talk. Me na so. Oh, Lord is me back car. Where you technical tina a high. Me offer so a hairdresser. Say no so tomb. Because light of no a sending name man is a man socket in be blue. So I say. And the light of no yas and kito no mechanics are no. Say see a juma ni ho. A juma ka cry maintaining light. But near community say a buying bar. Also, any may MIA. Also, light a coin any Ghana economy echo in him. Also, Sanimo win a buy Nanko Tima Sheni. Should be a Nanka coin and so any year. Usha Bochia, minimum. Omundum lights that. Besides, so called Germany. Omundum light 1 hour. Omundum light. I don't know, yes, sir. A management, a yansa, a common science, NPP, UC, a year, time and or power. Light say NDC by say or modern lights. And Miss Ghana for Muna, and Mamunya D, Namuntie, because near Cosono, and ya dear, I say yes, so, dear, and here Ghana, Nanakufu Kaye, yet is so a common dear, yet it can. Yet it can so and here a kaye. I don't know say basa. And you can say basa. Say this is some by ye a govern Ghana. Yan 2 more almost mismanage economy no. Emma Dumsos na ye Fiji say na name I say abra almost at 2 light moon. Almost at Ubiso be a not tall light as they say auto light pet. Uduko come on. Na adechia na light nisa ayo omafo bi antumu untumi hu enti ne aban eye no yem aban ye no e ma ye ho kire even though aban aba o si dollar onu wachi dollar no wachi dollar wachi dollar na any lighter aden na also aban eye sa ni manimo wi ne omudum light no memfo aso sa aban edum light no sa memfo aso so mo yero schedule enti monimo ya solve electrical issues no enti yeah minority in parliament say light off no e nima 1 2 3 aban because terminal plants na ye gas ye ka terminal plants a planter aban akraba and the NPP manage bi ye the gas emano enu she na ma transformer ni ye ejuma na generator enu no say NDC aban na omo ban no o man hwe sa ho no mo seriously na gas ni o man for ni ahwe ho o mu refi sa ni mani na entinu no ama terminal plant entimi nye ejuma infect light nye den emba ena akuso mbo nso a yesi we akọ eja akọ na hwe no so enu nso no that means aban enhwe ni mani ye even though na akuso mbo no na produce below capacity because to try if you be so media house be wa Ghana or my research akuso mbo no na ko so mu produce 1,000 megawatts, right? Less than that. No reduce somewhere 40 megawatts. And before transformers in the and asset na akusombo na nkasa na produce below production. Producing low production, that means aban no onye enunti na produce low production no. Enti ejanisa ba be she we kan aye west enu so kan ho bi. And a two say ne me kan ni na no say omo we no yi terminal plant two enso air management no say start the light to produce no dem glico no so leakage wo bebre enti enko through light on production no.
Doc, not to catch you, but Udin Kanka said, first of all, managerial issues. They don't know how to manage things. And you also made reference to Umamia, Wato Suaman, Wankasa Fine with salmon fish, or salmon fish, ni soup ne, Roya, I say. Now, Doc, if yet your memuna, if Felicia were roadmap or solutions to this, why do you politicize this? But rather, why won't you give the idea to the people in power to manage it, because it affected me?
Oh, Lawrence, me that's a pass or business are question we. Debia meka say Ghana development here me SNBBA. Say Ghana develop here is I'm very happy. But NDC are buying way under John Mahama. Oh, idea crown up so the more omunfa omuntie arrogance in the government. I don't make us say Lawrence Ucha me buy ebe can say Nana Akufo-Addo government me chat example we see hospitals agenda 111 what anyone say before workers na start ejuma abanwe wantie okoto tricycles so the ambulance in the call because hard to reach communities, you know. Here tricycle. Wow, sha. Obia no bet health minister currently explain the president how to reach areas, you know. Yeah, to mean call into the tricycle. Now, while Lawrence common science tricycle more do. Ukwa no ko do streams at 10 this all time even over time tricycle every come on here say no much time tricycle engine na issue mu no na ke so about motorcycles so see yeah NPP ya agenda 11 na ka obetuma create hospitals na emi betuma akọ treat am for no so onya na ko so use common sense auto tricycle motorcycle no enu there stream bia betumi akọ ekoduru achiche mu a ebetumi apia ma na atwem wakoto abobo ya abra na ewo zipnet kuran enu kura ye faster obi this anima no so efe katebe kona ye de zipnet echuma na no na mewie mu me wo koduru sesi mimi wo Ghana ha se me se me be ko Russia na me di abobo ya be kwa metuma so and I say 6 days. But say me di plane me di 10 hours. It tells you me di 10 hours. It tells you something. It tells you say kwanya. Let me use flight me drew say CA. That is what it means. So Mahama and the NDC. So muchi futura muchi advisor. Nanka ni kwa say omukoto abobo ya no makoto yi ma more 3 months ni na ebe say na sisi kwan ho wakoto we aba biso ho say aban to no we making provisions for spare parts, provisions for workshop, fit ebe na ebe service no fit ebe na ribbon spare parts ben aban ya available. Chinese company wakoto no omo substations were a crasi bunkuru omunibi etini aban ni na no ni na kwa aban entie futuro a etie Ghanaians na go say zipnet no ejuma na katima send medical and medical items to other districts and other villages aban entie yes and na go say agenda 11 no aban investing aban entie Enti yeah minority the mighty and no more press conference. It is about here on contacted the mighty minority and on contacted the energy committee in parliament. Abra NPP ne NDC will na more your common sense ye the 18 manage policy 18 manage energy sector no omujia ebe for omo because Ghana here obia me that say
Mr. Medase. This one is from Kwaku who says, good evening, watching from Suhum in the eastern region. I want to read some of your messages before my time. So let me tackle this fast. Asempa Inebwaji says, watching and listening from Achimhiman, Bajo Achimhiman from what he's saying. Samson Dibodifo says, some of us sense the elephant in the burning of the Akosombo Dam. Watching from Sunyani. Na Chimane say, Osunobi Koshe Dam no na she anasedeng. Onosrajen Shell no famra bekai. No. Frimpong Befi says the sabotage is real. Don't trust the NPP people. No, they'll say the all can say will be na sabotage na or sabotage and so on so come home. For bonny or tikru no day. Or him a win was say come for no so come. Way Jamframa TV says bravo Ghana president watching from Rara in UT region. We free Jamframa TV on Basalsuna Kukuyevu. Good evening, watching from I think Makai Kukuyevu message not too long ago. If we can move on to the next. NDC Diaspora Union says, good evening, comrade, watching from Amsterdam, Holland. Okay, thank you. Bajamun Shema, why not medium creature? He'll be agent on the things that we've discussed today. Sikapa family says the problem is with Akosombo Dam. I think Nankaya politicizing the real issues. I say the politics to do. Let's tackle the real issues when it comes to doing so. Even we be identified by politics no. Jibodefo says some of us sense the elephant in the burning of the Akosombo Dam watching from Siani. Jibodi Yati was watching. Lady Mal says more fire Kwame Ajiman watching on Twitch from St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay. Mavis Boateng says watching with the family on YouTube from Lisbon, Portugal. Mavis, that's what it. Monshema not made in picture. Bianfa Simon Paula says, I salute your panel. I greet you, Kwame. Kwame Cheka saying for my wife. Sansona. I think this is some of the messages come from the other platforms. If John Nambo and but since some journalists are misinforming and questioning the explanation of the energy minister, they should respect our intelligence more because we all listened to the minister where he openly said before the Akosombo control room burning there was a challenge on the overloaded transformers and they are replacing them, meaning before the Akosombo fire, the tripping of the transformers are being worked on. He mentioned two challenges. Is a more in comrade, we the uncle phone me debate. Comrade, that's how proud energy minister minister because so no one can come out with the problem. No, I cannot comrade. Who can say elephants? He change and say. We didn't have time to listen to your energy minister. Patience, Darko says, watching from Hamburg, Germany. Patience, Yati, Germany, what is saying? I was watching Chenny saying. Nana Tafrimu says, watching from Tetali, Northern Ghana. Nana Edasi. John Nambu also says that we shall overcome. Please, I can tell you on authority and you can Google and find out. A man called Eugene, a former MP, said he doesn't want the NDC to succeed. Meanwhile, buys food items, fuel, do his business with stable currency. the nation records would all be put to shame. If we John number one ever. Margaret Houston, Ahima says, Ghana, watching from Nkwantani, UT region. Okay. Robert Kimpe, it is saying, let me who message. Because I send up a message, brother, you also on the issues. I've got just 2 minutes. Maminka Frederick Diano. I think Frederick's message appeared on the screen. Young kinda Yenji Kwame. That's what I say. Frederick, you know, Nisa, we're a business. We're a better ticket now, Mr. Yes, you're doing Ghana. Kwame, what the message is to be? Doc and some Aman, the submission. But we're just 1 minute for a wrap up. Touch on this issues and let go. Just 1 minute. One.
Okay, me that was say na my submit me call me to me baby because it's CNT maternity. The doc be kind thing na me dey say for the first time on NDC I adwene someone panya ya de na watimi agina say onfa Ghana privacy your data emma different country either been America or whoever. Why are the NT for the first time Dr. Bongo me that was say on NDC I adwene. Secondly, okasa ni na or say power outage, and as you do so, any technical issue, rather there's something behind. And of some can say a managerial cost. So I say, in America say NPP a minimum idea. Or finding means just to suppress you down, just to create bad image for you. And see anyone wants to Ghana for Dona any say NPP dear a cow monko nanka ye lusu. Ya freely Ghana for nanka omanya kwan aba say o many bill but enkosi da bay NPP for obeja nya atwum wesi mesre medi manusi e bre na ye be medi nchia emoden e ma me ankasa me ma me o me Elizabeth Bodua so ma me baby we amechia udindi Kwashi Jonas o Freiburg udindi Eric Kwabna Sante o Freiburg Germany Mechia Freiburg fungina machia Germany NDC diaspora machia efie fungina na mayakasa mi producer Mr. Seth we are mechia mayakasa mi nua Lawrence Mr. this week frame one frame ya
mayakasa mi jilem na mechia Elizabeth Bodua because ya mboni dia ya ponsho makama
Mate
mechia no so mismeje ne ho Kwame Ajiman, NDC Communications team member, Freiburg, Germany, and was also a doc, Masuda Bungu, chairman for the NPP, Russia branch, South of Way, Pennycook, Kudamway, and then Moje Bre, Ebeka, who studio her, and then the cray Emery Bell. Me, I'm a sumo meeting, Lawrence up near opening set, and producer director, no shitching, a pinching feeding mamma, be a cost to her, said I will now TV, voice in dim command for this FA, opening. Nadaro man is an animal. Yami Adama say the Sunday we sign up by the body as to say Busumi or Yoko Guamae. We'll start next we'll come back next week entering the new month with another episode of No Crime Live on Today Ghana News TV. I'll see you next week when we come. My name is Lawrence. It's a bye for now.
Yeah.